Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Excuse my little giggle right here. My twins, I put them down for a nap and they didn't really fall asleep, and one of them was definitely protesting it. So I asked her older brother, I'm like, look, I'm trying to work right now. Can you just take her down a couple of levels in the house so she won't be in a distant background, you know, whining and fussing. And he comes up to get them, right? And they're walking by my door. My door is closed, but, you know, I can hear the footsteps. And someone knocks on the door, and I'm like, hello? Knowing, I'm like, what am I saying hello for? You know it's the twins. They always knock on the door when they walk past my door. It's funny. But, yeah, I just digressed it for a moment. But it was really cute. Their little knock, their little fingers and their little hands. Yeah. But hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a fun email. I actually love decoding emails and my email coaching. And one of the survivors has gracefully allowed me to share one of her email coachings. And I asked her to do this because I really feel like it could help the community and the collective. Now, I've made videos titled What the Narcissist Said versus What They Mean. And that's been really helpful to people. But I think, you know, email coaching like this, you know, you get so much out of it, guys. And that is one of the services that I offer on my website, which you are free to check that out for yourself. All right. And that is where you send me an email and you give me all the information that you want and ask the questions that you want. And then I send a very healthy, meaty reply back to you, you know, answering your questions and giving my suggestions moving forward. All right. So just some side information here. This survivor is currently pregnant with a narcissist baby. I believe she's in the second trimester now. So, you know, a lot of survivors end up having a child with the narcissist. So I really feel like a lot of people have either been in these shoes or just in these shoes currently. And then if you're not, you know, this is what you escaped or what you could have been looking forward to. She's currently no contact from this narcissist and he's getting really antsy. So his only way to communicate with her is through emails, and she's just reading them and, you know, forwarding them or sharing that information with me in coaching sessions. All right. So let me go ahead and read this email here. She says, hi, baby girl. I got addicted to you, LOL, but you really changed my whole sight on this situation. I can't believe that I accepted all of this in a short period of time and being okay with it now. I was just watching your live video on the way home, and at that very moment, I got another email from him. Only this one was very long. He started with saying, I really miss you, and just talking to you. I feel so empty and not happy. But I was never really happy. Only the time I was with you, I could see a possible happiness. I had my first session with my psychologist, and he asked me some stupid questions like, do you have friends? And how healthy do you eat? Like, seriously, what kind of question is that? And I was thinking, reading out loud, of course he will ask you that. He wants to see if you're social or an antisocial person, especially at age 35. So he went further to say that he still stays with his ex, but not all the time. I think he is full of BS, in parentheses, she wrote. Then she says, he said he wants to go and do nice stuff for me, like dinner or a drink or something. And it's got nothing to do with trying to get back together or have sex. He just wants to spend some time with me. I was thinking, like, seriously, what the F is wrong with you? Then she says, but in the past, we had something like that where he would be nice and not wanting anything from me. And when we would meet, he would kiss my hand and hug me or touch me or act like he was so nice and respectful. So now I really don't know where to put this. He is not being needy to come back, but really pushing to go on dates. But I can read between the lines of all his sweetness that he is throwing at me right now. I can see jealousy and rage or frustration because he can't get me so far. And then here and there, he asks me how the baby is doing and that she should have his last name and that he wants to bring his son so he can also see me because it's been a long time. Why I think he is being jealous, it's because he asks too much of where you at and what are you doing? You must be with people all the time. All those questions, like all the time. And then he asks, can we please go and drink something together? And I'm not happy, blah, blah, blah. I do love you, and I know you think I don't. And I also know you think I'm being happy and doing all this stuff, but you don't know that I'm down and that this affects me on every level. If you think I don't think of you, then you're wrong. I just think I'm crazy and can't get out of this nightmare. So I read all of those words and only what do I... Hold on, let me just repeat that. So I read all of those words and only what I do, or basically what she's saying, she just analyzed everything. I don't read it like I got to paraphrase some of this, guys, because I'm just reading it like verbatim the way that she wrote it. Basically, she was saying she didn't read it like she normally would and say, "Oh, baby, I miss you too. Come home, please. We'll do this together." Now she thinks now the way that she sees it is, you're just a sad, sad little boy who will always be like this and think that you can have your way. I can clearly see him running in circles, endless torture of himself. And the sad thing is, even though I know that no one can help him, I feel sad for him because he will never know true happiness and joy. He said the only thing that's keeping him going is his son and now this baby. He wants to buy stuff for her, but he needs to figure out what she needs. I'm happy that you're going to be the mother of my child, is what he said. You helped me through so much, finding a job and so many other things. I will never forget that. I can see his thirst and need to see me. He used to beg and do stuff, but now he's just playing nice and cool. And that's why I certainly don't trust him. He is so unpredictable. Why he just won't leave me alone. There are so many others, and he is always playing Mr. Nice and Sweet Guy. That's how he operates with everyone. And really, people say, "Oh, he's such a nice guy, sweet," and I think to myself, you have no idea, LOL. I know if I tell him to stop, that this is not working. I don't want to talk to you. I don't need to talk to you. Just move on with your life. He would get angry and give me the silent treatment for a few days, and there will be, once again, "Hi, how are you?" I almost feel like he needs my company and that the love I used to give him, I was like really crazy for him. I'm not ashamed to say it, but I loved him more than me, and that's sick. I gave him like 1,000 kisses and cuddles all the time. All right, she cooked for him and did a lot of stuff for him. She says she got that behavior from her mom. And she's a really good host anyway, LOL. But with him, she was so in love and she knew that. All right. So then she says his ex on the other side is a person who loves herself and only herself. She is nothing like me. All her nails are fake. Her hair is fake. She's like a Barbie doll. And I'm like, just what I need to put on my face, meaning she doesn't cake her face up like that. She's saying that she's nothing she's fake. She's simple but nice looking, you know. She even talks about other men to him and his family, but he did not cheat on her like big time. That's what he said to me shortly before the breakup. He said they had this weekend relationship and she was doing her thing and he was doing his thing, but yet they were doing each other. And that was his first real relationship, living together and being like together all the time. And the first one loving him, she's the first one that's loving him like no one else did. He even said to me, I didn't know how to accept your love or how to handle it. It was too much for me. He misses me and gets the fact that he made so many mistakes and that he made some bad choices, especially in the heat of the moment. But he needs help and to see what's wrong with him. He is depressed, he said. All right, let's continue. We're almost done here. She says he never ever communicated with me this much in the relationship like he did in this email, although one way of it, but still, and I think to myself. I think she's saying she's feeling one way about it, but then another feeling as well. Then she says, he's such a good actor. He seems desperate, but also not that much. But all of this is not working. And even if I went to see him, everything changed. I could never look at him the same way because he, abandoned her he has abandoned her through her pregnancy. And now he's trying to creep back in. And the worst thing would be me letting him talk. And then I'd say, are you done with your blah, blah? So I can go play with grown people, because I can really hit to the core sometimes on purpose. He is crazy. He discarded me while I was pregnant, and now I'm playing Mr. Nice and wants to date and drink and but not being too pushy. The baby is coming in 3 or 4 months. What the hell will happen next? I really never could believe that these people walk the earth and leave you pregnant with BS, and he needs help in his head. Okay, I'm just getting to I know he made a big problem out of me being pregnant, which is his son that he is saying that she should be interacting with now so that the baby could have a relationship with the son that he has with the ex that he lives with every now and then, right? So basically his son never accepted her and is jealous of her pregnancy right now with another baby coming in and him used to being the only child. So let's continue. So we're almost done here. And now you want to go out on dates with me and talk about our daughter. He should be ashamed of himself, and I truly now think that he deserves someone like his ex, because they are the same. She lets him do whatever he wants. He can come and go as he wants, because she also has 10 other guys she talks to. Much kisses, blessings to you and your kids. Send me the bill. Love. All right, guys. So that was a nice, meaty email there. So let's go ahead and jump into my reply to her email coaching. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read that to you guys, because there was a lot of things for me to address. So let's go back into it. Hey, girly, you know the routine. So let's jump into it. Smiley face. I said, I'm so happy for you. The point of one-on-one coaching is to change your sight on the situation, to give you healthy perspectives, protective perspectives, and refreshing perspectives, uplifting perspective, reality perspectives, etc. They breathe fresh breath into your life and show you that all is not lost And whatever ditch you feel like you are in, there is a way out. Then comes that beautiful shift we call change. And how sweet does it feel to climb out? Give yourself the credit. You decided to drink the water. I couldn't make you do that. You took the will and was willing to seek wise counsel. Good for you. Then I go on to say, and believe the ignorance you had. Nobody knows everything. And yes, before you knew better, you accepted things you would never do now. All humans have. Hopefully you're not being hard on your past. See your progression instead. See how you stepped out of the toxicity. Give yourself credit for the growth. And if you haven't, work on stepping into full forgiveness of yourself. Give yourself the patience you once gave the narc. You deserve the most, okay? Continue to take the lessons. And yes, it was so much in a short period because they love bomb and they go 0 to 100. But you are now on your time. All right, the next thing that I said, I'm certainly not surprised he emailed you. He is in resistance. He still has hope. He welcomes this connection of pregnancy as an opportunity to get things back the way they were. He is full of hope and patience. In his mind, he has a lot of time to wear you down. He can most likely sense at least some kind of shift in you, even if it's minimal awareness. He most likely knows it won't be fast, so he is taking the longer route for the big payoff. He is willing to walk before he runs, all just to do another cycle of abuse with you. And yes, I did say walk before he run because he isn't crawling. He just isn't running. The next point that I made was, yes, he is delusional. If anything, he should feel like a total fuck up. Yeah, I did say that. Because you have to be at the highest level of jerk and non-factor to not even be allowed to call the woman carrying your child. I mean, of course, unless she's a female narcissist. And I'll just intercept that there for my male listeners. The next thing I said, so let's examine and translate this email. All right. So this is like the meat of what I want other survivors who are going through this, are just to get some more information about how narcissists think and how they word things and what is most likely behind what they're saying. All right. So the first thing that he said in his email to her was, I really miss you and just talking to you. I feel so empty and not happy. Translation, I really miss the huge ego strokes you gave me. It was great supply. I don't have that in my life right now. If I did, I would still be abandoning you. That lack of supply leaves a void in my life. I really need a primary source because I'm really not satisfied with what I have. The next thing he says, but I was never really happy. Translation, actually, he was having a moment of honesty. Narcs are never truly happy. That's true. They have too much inner turmoil and conflict to achieve it. The next thing he said to her, the only time I was happy was when I was with you. I could see a possible happiness. Translation, even you didn't make me happy, but it was close enough to give me an artificial illusion. And that feeling is better than the feeling I have now. Next thing he said to her, I had my first session with my psychologist. He asked me some stupid questions like, do I have friends? And how healthy do you eat? Like, serious, what kind of questions are those? Translation, I finally had the stupid therapy session. I care nothing for it. I didn't really want to do the work. None of it makes sense to my emotional maturity. But hey, can you give me some brownie points for even showing up there? And you are further seeing his emotional maturity and the gap between the two of you. That's my little asterisk to her. The next thing that he says to her, he still stays with his ex, but not all the time. Translation, yes, It's bullshit. He is hoping to distance himself from his ex. He wants to draw nearer to you. He believes creating some type of an illusion of distance would increase his chances on some level of getting you back. But he thought wrong. This is an example of you changing and him staying the same. He doesn't get that. All right, so he's basically lying to her as he wants to distance himself or appear to be more distant from a woman he's living under the roof with. Because if I'm on the other side and he's trying to get back with me, I'm going to think about how they're probably sleeping together and all of these things. So if he's creating this distance, I don't even stay with her all the time, trying to minimize it so that the survivor who's pregnant with the baby on the outside looking in, if she didn't have the emotional maturity, she might start minimizing that situation herself. Okay. So let's continue here. The next thing he says is he wants to do nice stuff, dinner and drinks, but it has nothing to do with trying to get back together or sex. He just wants to spend time with me. Translation, lies.com and more lies. He starts out by saying he misses all you had. Clearly, he misses that relationship just as it was before. So yes, without a doubt, he wants to have sex and get back together. He's trying to play it off, but inadvertently is doing the opposite. It's also a weak attempt at reverse psychology, and no man just wants to spend time with a woman, especially when she's carrying his child. They are all playing it off and working towards sex minimally. But yes, he wants you to believe otherwise and become vulnerable because he doesn't want sex. LOL, yeah, right. He is trying to start over with you, but he will do the same thing. Love bomb, devalue, and discard. It will just be a new cycle of abuse. All right. The next thing that he said was they are never... Okay. That was the end of that part. So let's go through the rest of the email where I just made some more bulletin points to her, which was they are never nice without wanting something from you. There's always a motive. They just don't want you to see it coming. That way, you're mostly defenseless to it and you fall prey. These are love bombs and also Stockholm Syndrome. It's also manipulation. He knows that all of this will create confusion as you're trying to heal from the negative interactions. There are fresh, positive ones, and I put positives in quote, that could make you question the past, and then that leads to gaslighting. My next point to her, you said he is not needy to come back. I say he is very needy to come back. He said it in other words, and he said it in his opening sentences to her. Although he is trying to downplay it, but the tone screams, I want back now. Don't minimize his approach. He wants you back, but he can't handle you, and he will selfishly take that relationship and just hurt you to soothe himself. Okay? The next thing I said was right. Here and there he asks about the baby because his wants and needs have nothing to do with the baby. He's doing what he considers the bare minimum consideration of at least mentioning the baby and sprinkling that here and there to sound like he cared when he doesn't. All right. The next point that I made with her is, it's great that you can read in between him trying to lay it thick on you and pretending to be a sheep when we know he's a wolf. The next thing, yes, he is jealous. He has rage. And yes, he wants to crack you. His ego wants to overcome you again just to have that control and get supply. Next point. It will be your decision as far as the last name. My professional advice is not to. You aren't married and he will most likely be reckless. Why honor him? Besides, it's much easier as a single mom to get passports and things for your baby when you share the last name. He comes with a lot of negative energy, and so will his last name. He abandoned her, and he doesn't deserve it. All right. The next thing, or the next point that I made with this survivor, right? He is fantasizing about a big old happy family. This is why he wants his son involved, but he is leaving out reality. Like his son has nothing, or basically not acknowledging that his son doesn't like you and that his son is jealous of this baby. And honestly, that's where I pointed out that the narcissist has a lack of emotional maturity to even handle those type of obstacles and scenarios and conflicts. The next thing that I address with her is him asking her about where she is, what she's doing, and saying she must be with people all the time. Translation, he is losing his mind and trying to figure out what she is up to. And if someone else is getting his supply, I'm serious, it really boils down to that. Funny how the tables turn, though. The next thing he said was, I do love you. My response to that is, love doesn't jump ship and abandon. The next thing he said was, I know you don't believe me. My rebuttal to that is, you aren't falling for the love bomb like before. The next thing he says is, this stuff affects me. Next, and my rebuttal to that is, I get even more crazy when I don't have my way. All right, so just breaking down those 3 comments that he made. And the next thing he said was, I just think I'm crazy and can't get out of this nightmare. My rebuttal to that, bingo, LOL. So me and the survivor shared a little giggle on that. All right, so my next point with her was, see the progression and how you even react to him is out of your logic. Great job. Be very mindful of your empathy, though. As you stated, you feel sad for him. He keeps choosing to make this bed every day, meaning the narcissist is choosing to run from himself all the time. He's being a coward and not facing himself. He isn't the only one who went through things in life. Some people choose not to bail. He could have been one of those people. All right. So the next thing here is when he said, the only thing that keeps me going is my son and now the baby. Or basically, let me make sure I say it the way he said it. The only thing that keeps me going now is my son and now this baby. All right. So my rebuttal to that is, this statement is actually very cold. It's a very cold statement when he says this baby. There's no ownership there, just going through the motions and faking it very poorly, actually, because if it were actually true, he certainly wouldn't have left to begin with, and people don't leave their happiness. Okay. Now, the next point that I made with this survivor is he wants to buy her stuff, but needs to figure out what she needs. Translation, he just wants more interactions with her, the survivor, and is using getting stuff for the baby to try to make that happen. The next thing is he said he was happy that she was having his child. Translation, you were the best supply I've ever had. And he wants it back with him. Okay. And he's hoping these 21 years of heavy parenting, and this will be a lifetime connection. And he believes the odds are in his favor of getting that back. So the next thing, he had talked about how much she did for him. So my rebuttal for that was, right, you helped him in so many ways. You helped him so much, but how did he repay you? Exactly. He will never forget your devotion. And that's the kind of supply that narcs live for. But how did he repay her? By abandoning her when she and the unborn child needed him the most. All right, so I confirmed with this survivor that she is right to keep her guard up and to never trust him. He will always have some type of motive or agenda. Narcs do love to maintain their public image, and most are fooled because they see him on a shallow surface. You know, they're not the ones building lives with that narcissist to be able to see the other sides of him. And the other thing is, because she asked, why won't he leave her alone? He won't leave you alone because he still has hope. As long as he has a shred of hope, he will try, unless he meets a supply who can give what you gave or more. Okay. The next point that I made with her is, I'm glad to see you. Yeah. All right. I was just making sure here. I'm glad to see that, you know, she's maintaining her no contact, because actions over words work best for narcs and men and people in general. All right. I also made the point of saying he doesn't need your company. His toxicity does. Be careful with that. All right. I also let her know that she did overgive in that relationship, and he knows he had a great thing. He really hasn't replaced it. But of course, you are irreplaceable, in my Beyonce voice. One of a kind. All right. And, I agreed with her that yes, his ex does deserve him, but that wouldn't give him the supply that he wants. And that's why he keeps knocking on her door. The next thing is, I cautioned her to not be quick to think that he gets or understand anything. Talk is cheap, for sure. And while he is talking more, know that he has to. You know, the survivor put him in a position to where he would have to work harder. And if he wants her bad enough, he will begin to increase his efforts. But if he really wants that help, why isn't he working with a professional therapist? Because the help he really wants is getting his supply back. And yes, the narcissist is most likely depressed, but that kind of goes with narcissism. Yes, he has a mask on, but you've already seen behind the mask, and you certainly don't have amnesia. And it looks like it's going to be a cold summer for him, LOL, because it's true. There's no going back. You left the matrix and took the pill, but that was a great decision. Next, he will keep trying. Hold on, guys. Someone is calling me. Next, he will keep trying in a gentle way, as he is now. While wishing on a star, you will let him back in, even on the smallest of levels, as he feels he can wiggle from there and manipulate you back to where he wants you to be. He will continue to do more of the same and gradually increase his efforts as the due date comes. Expect more effort around 8 or 9 months pregnant. He will poke at your emotions. God bless you and your family as well. Sincerely, Coach Lakia. So, guys, obviously this is letting you see, you know, all the work that goes into email coaching, but it's also like a really nice case study here in dissecting what these narcissists will do when they're really trying to get their foot back in the door and they don't want to let go of the supply, and the supply is actually holding down their no contact. So I really want to congratulate this survivor for staying strong for her and her baby. And I hope that this has helped someone. I know it was pretty lengthy there, but it was so much in here that I really feel like, you know, those who have experienced being pregnant by a narcissist, or those that may be even pregnant by the narcissist right now, can get something out of this and really understanding how they think, guys. All right. So if you want me to do any more of these type of videos and these case studies where I'm decoding and translating what these narcissists saying, versus what they mean, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're a newcomer to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe and that bell if you want to hear more content like this. There's over 500 videos, I believe almost 600 at this time, talking about narcissistic abuse, toxic relationships we have with ourselves and our environment, how to do our shadow work, and how to see a healthy relationship, all right? And much, much more. Take what you can to help you on your journey. All right, great ways to support the channel is to always hit that like button and to leave a comment below, guys. If you want to have email coaching, go to my website, LakiaCrawford.com. That link is below all of my videos. I also do, guys, voice coaching. These are phone calls. And I also do Skype. We're video chatting over the medium that we choose. It might be Skype. It might be WhatsApp. I've done Instagram and Facebook, whatever works out. We can figure that out as well. I have a Patreon, guys. That's a great way to get services through me and to support my monthly causes and get some bangs for your bucks while you're doing it. The $24.99 a month gives you 3 coaching sessions a year, starting from when you sign up and pay your first $24.99. All right, that's great for survivors that just want to support my causes, and also great for survivors who have been financially abused by the narcissist, all right, or any situation. With that being said, guys, I do have a second new channel for all of my family-oriented survivors out there. It's simply called Lakia Crawford. I will be linking that below this video as well if you want to check that out. I'll be vlogging my family life there, and I will be putting up parental topics, videos, and I already have some video requests that I have to work on for that. I have the free support group, guys, over on Facebook for survivors of narcissistic abuse. That link is below all of the videos as well, guys, so take advantage of that. It never hurts to link yourself and connect yourself with others that actually get it. All right, so keep doing the work, guys. Never give up on yourself. Until next time, take care.